I'm Meghan Gerlock, and I currently actually participate and actively work with my family farm, which is Gerlock Farms. And then Kyle and I also have Corn Red Cattle Company, which I kind of started because I'm really into Red Angus, and that was my kind of avenue away from the commercial side of my father's operation. So I grew up on a beef farm in Farmington, New York, Shortsville, right on kind of the town line, mainly commercial operation. So I'm kind of dabbling in the registered stuff with our personal operation, so in Canandaigua. Currently, I am not BQA certified. I have a lot of irons in the fire, and time is of the essence for me. So it's on my list of cold weather to-dos. So I think it's important, one, because I want consumers to know that I'm taking every step possible to make sure that my animal welfare practices are something that they can trust, and the products that I'm putting out are something that I took a lot of time and care to produce. So I currently use a system called Cattle Max, and every single one of my cows is in there. They each have kind of like their cow file. I record, mature weights, weaning weights, birth dates, any kind of notes about illnesses. All my vaccine records are in there. I also keep pictures of them as they age, so that kind of stuff. Yes, we currently have a VCPR with Casica Vet Clinic in Geneva, New York, and for me it's very important because if I have a question, I'm going to ask. And I actually had an instance last weekend where I needed their input. I had a heifer calf recently weaned that had pink eye, just the smallest bit of it. And I gave her an injection of LA200 in the correct spots, correct dosage, all of that. And she had a bad reaction, had very severe side effects. So I immediately was on the phone with the on-call vet, like, what do I need to do? If I didn't have that avenue and that outlet in them, I could have lost her. And to me, that's extremely detrimental to just even, my happiness as a farmer. So yeah, very important. I think customers, at least if I was to take a step back out of the industry, to know that producers are, using the correct injection sites and handling their cattle in the safest way possible to ease the stress of the animal. So I think absolutely, especially coming from a older generation kind of farm. My grandpa passed a couple years ago, but they were kind of the rough and tough. They just stuck in their ways, and I think there's still some of that happens. So if we could get producers to kind of follow these guidelines, as a whole, consumers, I think, would feel better trusting everyone. So to our farm, it's very important. We recently, just even improving like our handling facilities, has changed the whole. Anytime we have to handle our cattle, it just makes things that much easier. I want them to feel like there's a routine when we do. It's not fun for them to come into our handling facilities necessarily. So keeping that stress-free, using BQA recommendations, at least I know that even though it is slightly stressful to them, I'm using practices that have been tested and studied and, found to work. So like I said previously, I think it's just something more that, I can share with my customers that, hey, we do everything possible to make sure that, our product is safe, we're treating the animals correctly, and, as a whole, animals are happy, people are happy, stress-free. That's a huge thing for me on our farm, is to mitigate a lot of stress. So